His eyes widened sharply as he saw Golden's smiling face. Spring shouldn't be able to see that. Spring, however, didn't seem to mind Purple's outburst. He carefully stood up. It's harder than it looks to stand when one is wearing shackles. He simply chuckled. Hmm? He asked. Purple wasn't done.
What's happening? Why can't I move? Purple's mouth was sealed shut. His whole body was frozen. The cupcake paused in his attack. What's going on? He asked. The sounds of Golden laughter had triggered a flow of memories that weren't Purple's. At that sound, Spring Bonnie had started to wake up. His precious time with Golden at their diner began flooding in. Spring, you're covered in frosting. Golden was laughing. Pink frosting in Spring's fur. Children were running around and laughing. The diner. A birthday party. Spring, he's a cupcake, not a muffin. Goldie was giggling. They were in the back room. Golden had just been crying. Spring was cheering him up. Where was Fredbear? Fredbear! Spring! Goldie called. He was covering his muzzle. Fredbear was with them. That had been Spring's first time after his body change. Wait, Goldie? Goldie! Spring's eyes snapped open. He stretched and let out a little bit of a yawn. Were the chains really necessary? He gave them a little tug. Spring looked around the new space. He wasn't in the back room where Golden and Cupcake were trapped. He was trapped inside of his own mind, with hints of purple and red. Spring grinned, finally. Usually when Purple possessed Spring's body, Spring fell into a deep sleep. Spring Bonnie only became aware of what was happening once Purple had left his form, which left Spring feeling achy and a feeling of deep guilt. For the past 30 years, Spring had been focusing and pushing towards freeing his mind, so that way one day he would be able to free himself. After the first couple of years, he had lost hope. What had brought him back was a surprise visit from someone very close to him. After that visit, each time Purple took control, Purple had started to fight. Nice and easy, careful and slow, so Purple wouldn't grow suspicious. Until now. Spring turned his head from side to side. Purple really needed to find a different color that he liked besides this red and purple hues. Maybe he did have a crush on Phone Guy. That would explain all the red. Spring closed his eyes and focused, accessing his physical eyes and tapping into what Purple could see. Suddenly, Goldie's smiling face appeared before him. Spring felt his ears twitch and his heart warm. He could never get tired of a view like that. Not the best time to start laughing, Goldie, he chuckled. With Golden confirmed to be safe, Spring could now focus on the invader who had taken up residence in his mind. What have you done? Speak of the crayon, and he shall appear, whether you want him to or not. Purple flew up to him. His hands were clenched at his sides. Why can't I move? He demanded. His eyes widened sharply as he saw Golden's smiling face. Spring shouldn't be able to see that. Spring, however, didn't seem to mind Purple's outburst. He carefully stood up. It's a lot harder than it looks to stand when one is wearing shackles. He simply chuckled. But Purple wasn't done with Spring yet. Another thing. Why are you awake? You're usually asleep when I take control. Purple placed his hands on his hips. He didn't like this. Well, Spring said, drawing the words out so he could stretch and have these chains clink in his wrists. I'm awake, and I'm taking back control. He let his hands fall down to his sides. Oh, that felt so good to say. Purple shot up to Spring. What? He snapped. Yet he couldn't fly over Spring's head. Something was pushing him down, forcing him to stay in this one spot. You can't do that! At Purple's words, Spring's smirk widened. This felt so good. Yet there was another feeling. As Spring was collecting himself and connecting back to his body, he felt others come near. 2 others were sneaking in closer. Hopefully a friend and not a foe. I'm tired of you taking control of my body, and now that I know Golden is safe and sound. Spring paused in his speech. He lifted his wrists up to his chest. Purple's eyes fell to the chains. They were the only things keeping Purple's control. Snap! Snap! Spring broke free. He kicked his feet out and tossed his arms to the sides. Now that felt good. He rolled his shoulders back and stretched up once more. Purple pushed back. Oh, and I am going to make sure you never hurt him or anyone else ever again. Spring crossed his arms across his chest and let out a deep sigh. His mind was finally ready to take down Purple for good, and he wasn't alone. He felt 2 thick tendrils wrap around his waist, which was terrifying in retrospect, but they felt familiar. Spring found that he couldn't be scared. How did you... Purple asked. He was stunned. Spring had never... What was happening? Spring gave himself a little squeeze for comfort. The 2 creatures that had wrapped around him took shape. A black rabbit and a purple bear. Ah, how could Spring have forgotten about the shadows? His gaze fell back to Purple Man. That's my secret. Now, he hummed, I do believe we have some company. Hey, my cupcakes. I hope you guys enjoyed that comic. It was so much fun to do. It's so nice to get back into the comics. And as you guys probably saw last week, we're doing a kind of like A-B kind of schedule week, where one week there'll be a comic, the next week there'll be a goofy video or a reaction video, something more like fun. It's easier to edit for me. So that way the comics can be more spaced out. And oh, hi. Here, one second. I gotta show you guys. My dog is very sleepy. He is out. He's just vibing on the floor. Oh, good boy. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you really enjoyed that comic. And as I was saying, so we are doing every other week for comics, and the other week will be more like a fun thing, like more reaction videos, more like, I'm not guaranteeing, there might actually be comics on those days, but they probably won't be FNAF related, at least not directly to the exact comic. We'll see how it goes. We'll just play it by ear and have fun. But yeah, it's just a fun little thing. I just wanted to update you guys. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. We are almost done with this comic. We have 1 chapter left. The last video probably is going to be a little longer. I made this one shorter because I wanted to make sure that we could fit in all of the mine scenes, because like the scene was really fun to draw, and when I remember drawing it, it was so empowering, because I was like, yes, Spring is finally free. But yeah, I just want to make sure you guys are really, like, the next chapter is the last chapter, so chapter 13 will be the last chapter of the comic, and that will be when we find out, did the Shadow Bunnies escape? Did the Shadow Bunnies win? Is Spring okay? Is Purple really gone? Where's Cupcake? Is Golden okay? There are many questions to be asked. And so then, guys, so stay tuned for 2 weeks and we get to see the next comic. And so that next week there will be a fun, goofy reaction video to an amazing YouTube. I hope you guys, YouTube video. Hope you guys check in, and I hope you guys have a great week. Good luck. You guys are amazing. Thank you, my cupcakes. Bye.